So I hope you enjoyed part run. Damn. Hi, I'm Dusty. I'm a 110 half marathoner and I race as a professional triathlete. And today is part 1 of 5 in my How to Run Faster series. And today we're talking all about running form. So having proper running form is the foundation to efficient and injury-free running and ultimately faster run times. Okay, so let's get into the basic components of what makes up good running form. You'll want to stand nice and tall, shoulders relaxed. You'll want your head level. You don't want to be looking too far up. You don't want to be looking too far down. You want your arms at about 90 degrees. You want to make sure that when you're running, you're not crossing the center line. You're going to have a little bit of side-to-side movement. We're not robots. We're not going to be running like a sprinter, straight back and straight forward. There is a little bit of side-to-side movement, but you want to make sure that you're not approaching or crossing that center line. And you want to be relaxed and smooth, so it all starts in the hands. I like to run with an unclenched fist, so just pretend that you're holding an egg or a butterfly and you don't want to crush it. So you should be able to have floppy wrists when you're running. You don't want to have a hard fist because that's just going to create tension everywhere in your upper body. Okay, now let's get into lower body running form. So there's 3 different ways that you can have a foot strike. Some people will heel strike, some people will midfoot strike, and some people will forefoot strike. Now there's a lot of debate out there as to which sort of a foot strike is correct, and I'm not going to debate that on here. I know many elite runners who run with forefoot running. I know many that run with midfoot running, and I know some that run with heel running. For myself, I try to avoid forefoot running. I just find it unnatural. So I try to land on my midfoot. However, many of my race photos show that I actually heel strike quite often. And that's totally okay. The biggest thing that you want to avoid with your foot strike is not landing way outside your center of gravity. You want your foot to be landing right underneath you or just ever so slightly forward. You don't want to be way overstriding and constantly landing with your foot way out in front like this. That's going to lead to injuries and it's going to make you slower. A lot of people, when it comes to their stride and heel striking, think that the longer the stride I have, the faster I'm going to go. There's a very common misconception out there that taller people are going to run so much faster than shorter people because they have a longer stride, and that's just not the case. And a lot of beginner runners think that I need to lengthen out my stride, and they end up heel striking but with their foot way out in front, and as a result they get injuries. So if anything, when it comes to stride, for people that are overstriding, I try to get them to shorten their stride up so they're landing right underneath their center of gravity, and then maybe try to speed up their cadence or their turnover, and they'll get faster that way. So I wouldn't necessarily try to change from, say, heel striking to midfoot striking. You can play around with it if you want, but you want to make sure that where your foot is striking is right below you and not way out in front. And those are the basic components that make up proper running form. Just to review, you want to keep your head level, you want to stand up tall with a very slight lean forward, you want your shoulders relaxed, you want to run with your arms at about a 90-degree flexion. You do not want to cross that center line with your arm carry. Just like this is good. And you want to stay relaxed, and it all starts in the hands. Don't have a clenched fist, make sure that it's nice and unclenched. One thing that I'll do throughout a race, if I feel myself tightening up, is I'll actually shake out my arms as I'm running. It reinforces in my head, relax, Dusty, relax, be smooth, be strong. And just remember that everyone does have slightly different running forms. No two people are exactly the same. There's little subtle differences in everyone's running forms. Even the very best runners in the world have slight differences in their running styles. But just remember, in running faster, it all starts with proper form. So follow the tips that I talked about today, and that'll be your starting point in running faster. And like always, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe for more everything running, triathlon, and nutrition related.